There's Arva. Hi, baby. Come here, sweetheart. There's my girl. Arva's named after my Cub Scout leader. And I had such great memories. She was always such a wonderful woman. So I said, I'm naming you Arva. Huh? And Arva is friendly and she likes her nose squeezed like this. I'm Ross Shafer. Welcome to my world. I founded Salsa Cycles. This here is one of the first batch of bikes, of salsa mountain bikes that I built back in 1981, 82. And I built it for Terry Holman, who printed my first decals for me. I don't know, I'd have a hard time doing that good quality of a paint job on acid, but you know, back in those days, don't put it past any of us for doing odd things on odd things. I was never a fan of the names on the bikes because it just seems so limiting. And Shafer, I draw pictures of it and it's like, Bob Jackson, Ron Cooper, it's just all these names. It didn't do anything for me. And in the back of my mind, it's like, and how do you market Shafer? There's nothing fun associated with it. And Ross bikes already exist. I was a total hot pepper nut. And my lunch every day in the bike shop, small carton of cottage cheese, a bag of chips, and a bottle of Pace Picante sauce. I'd pour it in my cottage cheese, whip that up, eat it with chips, and almost every day a bottle of salsa. What am I gonna name it? I want something hot. I want something spicy. In the first year that I really dove deep into bicycles, I had like 6 different bicycles. I just kept upgrading. And then I saw a bike called a Wizard, which was built by Brian Bayless and Mike Howard, and just was over the moon. It's like, that was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. It was a bicycle / sculpture. So I figured, I'll just build one myself. I can do that. So I got the Proteus kit. I think it cost a whopping $60 back then. Over the next 3 or 4 months, I built a frame. Had a lot of frustration building that frame. Had a lot of satisfaction once it was done and it actually worked and rode pretty nicely, and it did not look anywhere near as nice as a Wizard. So that made me want to build another one to see if I could get closer, of course, but was still seeking that production job. I think I'll drive out to Claremont and find the Santana shop and take a look at it. And was made manager of the frame building department 2 weeks later, even though I really barely knew what I was doing. I learned as much about business and as much about managing people as I did about frame building, which proved to probably be the more valuable lessons. I just wanted to have a Pierce tube bike, and it was a cool little aesthetic feature. Only those first bikes had it, because it's like, it's extra weight, it's extra work, it's extra hassle. It does look kind of cool. The seat binder, I just full-on stole partially from Mantis. I just love that integral seat binder, and it wasn't nearly as wide as the quick releases. The aftermarket quick releases you plugged in, and I just went one further and just countersunk this bolt. Riding on Mount Tam one day, one of my Santa Cruz customers, actually a boss of mine, he was taking a break or something, and Joe Breeze came riding up and goes, "Wow, a Salsa, I've heard of these, I've not seen one yet." And he's checking it out, and he's looking at the fork crown and feeling it, and you guys know Joe, so you know how analytical he is and stuff, and he's going, that's a cool crown. I wonder how he got that little arc under the thing. And my buddy, who knew nothing about machining or anything, he says, "Yeah, Ross makes those out of one piece of steel." And Joe's going, no, he doesn't. And then Joe and I met, and he comes up to me and goes, "I met this guy, I saw one of your bikes, beautiful, man, really cool, really loved the bike, it was really neat." But I gotta tell you this funny story. The guy told me that the crowns were machined from a single piece of steel. That's not true, is it? I go, "That's true." And he just, "What?" Because he thought he had the most time-consuming fork crown. There was a lack of sensitivity to fitting on mountain bikes. And I saw right away that, nobody's making stems, and I was making enough custom stems for people. Had a couple of friends that wanted to be partners with me, and I was trying to, well, we can't be partners in the custom frame business, it's just too time consuming and it's just all me to do the custom frames, but let's think about some production products. And I went, stems, of course. One place to call to get a few different sizes of stems would have to be successful. So we made 3 different models of stems. That was our first offering, and just started selling them hand over fist. There's all kinds of pictures up here that mean a lot to me. Over here, I had the privilege of building Peter Gabriel and some of his band guys. Backstage after show things, because anytime King Crimson was coming through, hey Tony, I want to come see the show. Okay. The Salsa Fests were awesome events, and we always had screen printing going on at the last 4 or 5 of them. My production manager, John Hammond, who designed all our jerseys over the years, was a very irreverent and very talented artist. So he'd just sit there. He did a lot of modifying in a pornographic manner of newspaper pictures and stuff. He pretty talented. It's like, how did you do that? It looks, never mind, I'm not going to say the words. You know, you got to look real close, but it's extra fat. Lots of room for logos. Says extra fattest in the whole wide world. Extra straight. Can't even read that one. It's how dumb blondes really bust radical air. And page 6, how Zap cleaned his cranks and wrecked them. Say it out loud. That was typical of the humor around salsa. There's lots of dirty pictures and stuff on our walls. And my wife, who's a school teacher, had to take this 3-day sexual harassment course. She comes home from the first day and she goes, "You're going to jail." All the crap in your wall. Oh my God, Ross. So we actually did a cleanup of the shop. But then they crept back on the walls, and there's plenty of it in here. I am absolutely certain we're the only bicycle company to sell piñatas. And the boxes we ship them in actually cost more than the piñatas. And we sold a shitload of them. I sold salsa in '97. What I do now, I do research and development for a pedal steel guitar company called Sierra Steel Guitars. I was hired to just see if I could come up with a new guitar design. Just see what you can come up with. We know you're an inventor kind of guy and you're passionate about this stuff, so go for it. Pedal steel guitars, very different from a regular guitar. It's more of a machine, a music playing machine. Being a bicycle nut, things have to be serviceable, and they have to be easily serviceable. That was one of the things I always had a strong feeling about with bicycles. Lots of doodads under there. Oh. The knee levers and pedals are your fingers. But now I've jumped in and it's like, oh, now I want another machine and